Here we go, killing again. Welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast.
We're back and we're moist like Janet Jackson, baby. It's Chadley and Buck Hollywood LeDuc.
Buck Hollywood LeDuc.
Yeah, we went on like a small hiatus because Spookytober this year almost killed us.
Yeah, it almost murdered us.
Yeah, we were almost dead by the end of that, so we're like, we need some time to deflate.
I mean, to be fair, we've been doing this for like 3 years now, and I live by like Quentin Tarantino's famous quote. I didn't go to film school; I went to film. So,
true.
To try and be a better film critic, I think I probably watched a movie every day for the last 3 years, and it all came to a head at Spookytober there when we went to an all-night movie marathon, and I'm like, I can't watch another film for a very long time.
It's been I've just seen too many of them now.
So we took a couple weeks off. I didn't watch any films except for these ones.
But unfortunately, here's the problem: is that like in the 2 weeks that we took off, Hollywood just exploded and decimated itself. Like, it just, what the fuck happened? This was a terrible time to take a hiatus. I think, like, I don't want to get too deep into it because it's pretty political, but I do think it'd be weird if we didn't at least talk about the Hollywood. I'm going to turn my phone off like a fucking professional. Before
Buck radio. What the fuck?
Before Buck LaFlute beats the shit out of me.
I got a sock full of nickels right here.
He's gonna beat the shit out of me with a brass saxophone. So what happened in the past couple of weeks is that obviously the Harvey Weinstein, I believe that happened a little bit before.
We talked about
we talked about the Weinstein thing and the sexual misconduct, but since then, like,
little did we know, even though we're Hollywood insiders, this would turn into
a floodgate.
Yeah,
there's a floodgate of sexual misconduct. Just so many people at this point. Kevin Spacey is the big one that a lot of people are talking about, and I do think that it's weird. It would be weird if we didn't mention just like how poorly he responded to those allegations. Like, just like on a quick serious note before we jump into all the fun and games.
No one's done it right yet though. Louis C.K. that apology was fucking horrible.
Well, I think the Louis C.K. one is probably the closest thing, because the closest thing to being the right one. I mean, I think the worst one is, honestly, it might not even be Kevin Spacey. It might just be George Takei.
It might be George Takei, because he clearly grabbed a dude's dick and he's like, I would never do that. I would never for me to ever. I don't know where this came from.
Russians hacked my Twitter, and it's like, what the fuck?
Did he say Russians?
There's something wild. Like, he did blame the Russians for the allegations.
That's a lot of fun.
Which is a lot of fun. Or like when I think Howard Stern mentioned it to George Takei, and then George Takei was just like, uh-oh, which is like an insane way to respond to sexual misconduct allegations.
A lot of politicians are coming through, but that doesn't really surprise me. Old dudes are always trying shit.
You know what
the least surprising? Old dudes are always trying shit. They're always trying to like grab chicks' tits and stuff, and just like laughing it off. Old dudes are always trying shit. I'm always like, I see an old dude trying shit, I'm like, excuse me, sir, how are you trying shit?
Just an old dude trying shit.
It's 2017. How are you trying shit, dude?
But here's the thing, is that I think this is probably going to get swept under the rug pretty quickly here, because like this has happened before in the past, and then
the
people.
Louis C.K. one happened already. We already knew that. We already jerked off in front of people all the time.
This came out like 6 months ago, and then nobody listened, and then like this happened, and these girls who were I guess sexually assaulted is what you would call it.
Yeah, that's exactly what you would call it.
Who were sexually assaulted by Louis C.K. came out again, and they're like, hey, since we're all paying attention to this, can we talk about this thing that we already told you about? Yeah. And so at that point, that's when Louis C.K. came out, and he's like, yes, I did all this. It actually makes, because like I listened to Louis C.K.'s like stand-up, and like I always thought like, oh, like when you listen to his stand-up, like you can feel him progressing as a human being. And there is like the one stand-up where he's it's the first one where him and his wife are divorced, and like I remember when that came out, I was like, wonder what happened there. But now I've got a pretty good idea what happened there. Turns out this guy's a fiend.
Yeah, he's just jerking off into fucking.
Like, here's the thing, he talks about jerking off into stuff a lot in his stand-up.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think he was serious. But yeah, so like I just think it's very bizarre. I think one of the weirdest things that's coming out of this is the whole Corey Feldman thing, where he's playing it like he's the Joker, and he's like, for every week as a pedophile doesn't come forward, I will release a name.
Fucking Corey Feldman. I hope he gets the help he needs.
No, I hope he doesn't. I want to go to one of his wild sex parties.
Dude, have you ever seen that that one where he's playing his band at a little league baseball game and then he falls off the stage. Woo! That's a classic.
That's a 10 out of 10 right there. Yeah, so that's sort of what's going on in Hollywood right now. But even weirder, and this is maybe not weirder. Okay, there's not a lot of things weirder than like everybody in Hollywood turning out to be a rape man.
Not surprised though. I'm not surprised personally.
Yeah. Another weird thing that happened that I think we should discuss, and I was trying to piece together the actual details of what happened this past week with the Justice League embargo, because what happened is that WB was like, we will let you review this film on Wednesday, but we will not let that it can't be put on Rotten Tomatoes until the movie is out, which because it can't affect the tomato meter, which is such an insane thing to do, because that alone says more about the quality of that film than any review possibly could have.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is one thing that I keep seeing, like, people that love DC. They're like, oh, why should the critics matter if you're already decided that you're not going to like it? Well, it seems like DC doesn't like it. So.
Yeah, it sounds like Warner Brothers is not that keen on it either,
Because look, I've been wrong before about films, but not usually.
And critics have been wrong before.
Sure.
A great example is Chappie.
Yeah, a great example is Valerian.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get into that at some time in the future, I'm sure, because I'm going to tell you something about Valerian. Critics were absolutely on point on that one. Maybe even too nice.
It's the best film of the year.
Maybe I don't think it's even a film, but we'll get into that eventually, I'm sure. But today, what we're talking about is Spider-Man: Homecoming. People have been asking for this one. This one's a big request. People are like, you guys got, because we talked about all the other Spider-Mans to see if they hold up. I guess it would only make sense that we cap it off with Spider-Man: Homecoming. Which we sort of put that on pause because this came out on video on demand like over a month ago, but we put that on pause for Spookytober.
Well, a big thing with Chadley is he doesn't go to the movie theater.
Not very often.
I'll watch these movies when they come out, and then I have to wait for 6 months, and then I have to watch them again because I've forgotten.
And then you have to do a quick rewatch. Sometimes you got to do.
And here's the thing.
I get it.
We all know Blade Runner bombed because no one went to see it,
including Chadley.
And it's interesting that even Chadley, one of the biggest fans I know of the first one, couldn't muster up the strength to go see it.
I didn't have time. I was too busy with all this spooky shit. I think it's still running in the mall though. I think they're still running it, so maybe I'll get a chance to jump into that one. But we're talking about Spider-Man: Homecoming. We are talking about. What's the other one?
A24 is good.
A24 is good time. Okay, so A24 likes to deliver some wild shit, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
There's a large backlog of A24 we're going to get to this year. I'm going to make sure of it.
Because here's the thing, A24 has they have to give us one hefty serving of 5-star content every year, and we gotta dig through it. We gotta figure out which one of these bitches is the 5-star, which one of these is the Ex Machina or Moonlight of this year.
I'm pitching Lady Bird, but you might disagree.
Oh yeah, that's playing right now.
I saw it at the film fest and I was fucking blown away.
Blown away. Well, I know that's playing in theaters, like in the theater just over there, like right now. So maybe
I also really liked Free Fire though, so they have some contenders.
Free Fire was good, man, with Armie Hammer. Dude, I like Arnold Hammer. And then we're also going to start a new series. We're going to watch all the Jack Ryan films.
I don't know why though.
I just because like a lot of these I'd never seen, so I was like, you know what, we should watch the Jack Ryan movies.
No, we'll watch.
And it'd been a while
since I just don't understand why you're doing this to me.
It had been a very long time since I'd seen The Hunt for Red October, which I watched this morning.
Yeah, it does not hold up.
Maybe not as good as I thought, but it's. We'll jump into it in a little bit. Let's I just gotta find my notes here on Spider-Man. Let's talk about Spider-Man.
Okay.
So here's what's great about Spider-Man. Turn it on. Guess who's the first face you see? Fucking Keaton.
Ooh, Keaton. Okay. Keaton's back, baby.
There's so much that we can talk about in this movie. First of all, this movie is a great length. I think this is a good Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's great. I don't think this is a great Marvel movie, but as far as Marvel movies go, they've been really going downhill recently with like Doctor Strange, which is like the lowest of the low, Civil War, Ant-Man, which I know you liked, but I wasn't very hot on.
Ant-Man's great.
And even upon rewatches, Age of Ultron doesn't hold up.
No, Age of Ultron does not hold up, but I'll watch Ant-Man any day.
Ant-Man,
like, Ant-Man. I'll watch that shit.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave Ant-Man. That's fine.
Ant-Man did nothing wrong. He doesn't deserve your hate.
I'm sorry. I'm just. Here's the thing: is that I'm a hater. Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Marvel movies are technically bad.
Yeah, they are all technically bad, but they just look so fucking good. Like, why do they look like that?
At least they're completed, though.
Yeah,
I don't think
I'm like
DC
Justice League.
Yeah, they're like,
DC.
We're just gonna release these half-finished movies. Don't do that. Maybe.
Here's the thing: is that they got it like a quarter finished, and then Joss Whedon started working on it, and they're like,
"Look, I don't think the stakes are very high in Marvel movies." But at least they're a complete film with an arc, a story arc.
Yeah, absolutely.
Martha, fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself,
dude. I'll never forgive Batman versus Superman. I'm at that point now. Like,
dude, I was making fun of fucking Batman and Superman on Twitter, and like some dude just swooped in and posted like a 5-page article on why Martha isn't bad. And I'm like, it doesn't follow me. I don't follow him. I don't know where the fuck he came from. He must have just searched for Batman versus Superman takes and started posting his article and shit. Fuck off. Don't at me. I've said this on the show before.
Okay. But here's the thing. I think this is the exact type of situation where you can at me, because now that sounds like I need to read this dissertation.
No, it's
insane.
It's wild, and it was written by a fucking 15-year-old who really likes Batman.
Yeah, and he's got
what? You're 15. You didn't grow up reading comic books because comic books don't exist anymore, bitch.
They still exist, but they're bad now.
No one reads them, though.
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing: is that there is a large group of adults who read comic books, and I just cannot understand that. I read comic books as a kid. You want to know why? Because they're drawing, like, I hate when people are like, because like this happened with Thor. Somebody like a good friend of the show, Alex Lingo, who you know.
Well, I don't know about good friend of the show. He agrees with us on he disagrees with us on basically everything.
But he's a fine lad. I like him a lot. Sure. But he's like saying like Thor Ragnarok was bad because it was too jokey and too colorful, and I'm like, and I made like a joke response and was like, I said something along the lines of, oh, they made a fun and colorful movie based on drawings for kids. And then he was like, this dude's clearly never read a comic book. Comic books are for adults now. They're very mature and they deal with very mature themes. And I'm like, hey, you want to know where you get mature themes from? Films. Don't read comic to get mature themes. What, you read V for Vendetta once and now you're a fucking expert? That pisses me off.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself, I think. 2018, I've decided just now that I'm going to kill myself in 2018 because I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah, I agree. Now here's the weird thing about Spider-Man that's the first turn off for me for the film. It starts with a fucking 15-minute recap, but not just like a 15-minute recap of recent Marvel films, Joss Whedon's, very much focused on Joss Whedon's first Avengers.
It's important though.
Yeah.
Because my dad has never seen Avengers, but he wants to watch Spider-Man, of course.
Well, just give me the Friday the 13th previously on. Like, just give me that. Like, if we're gonna do the recap, don't have Michael Keaton narrate the fucking recap as his character.
I don't know if it's that long.
It was long, dude. I think it's like 15 minutes. It's a lot of the runtime. Now, thankfully, actually, this movie's a really decent runtime for a superhero movie. It's not too long. It's not too short.
2:15.
Yeah, it's about 2:15, which I think for a superhero movie,
I guess, but by your standards, it's a 2-hour film. So.
Because there's a fucking 15-minute recap. Yeah, movie's about 2 hours, and I think that's a great length. I think Justice League,
but
guess what? That's gonna be too short.
Guess what movie my dad can't watch? Basically every Marvel movie, because they require you to have like all this fucking background knowledge of random shit, random appearances by Loki and shit.
Yeah. Loki rolls up, and then it's like, am I supposed to understand what's going on?
And this film is a film for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I think this movie is accessible by everybody, and I think they had to make it that way just because Spider-Man, like,
I think that's a wonderful execution of how to do this.
By proxy, Spider-Man is typically a much more not everybody is going to go to the theaters to see Doctor Strange. Not everybody's going to go to the theaters to see Ant-Man. Hell, not everybody's going to go see fucking Captain America. Fucking everybody's seeing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
everybody is going to see Spider-Man. So yeah, I do get why they did it. Um, I do think that this movie is silly in a great way. Like it almost feels like it's like fucking written by Monty Python. Like it's really kind of silly. And like I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok yet, but I imagine because it was actually directed by Flight of the Conchord alumnus, that it actually has a very similar tone.
Yeah.
But maybe even executed better. So I'm actually really excited for that one. But it does feel like it was like written by Monty Python people because
it's ridiculous, and that's exactly what I want from a movie about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like to me, I feel like this is the first time they've ever gotten it. Like when I watch Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, that's Tobey Maguire playing Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
When I watch Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield playing Spider-Man. When I watch this movie, that's just Spider-Man.
Yeah, that is one thing I did want to say is that like. I think people have talked about it before, and I never would have thought Tom Holland for Spider-Man, but god damn, he's good. Here's why he's good though. Is that dude's like 30, looks 15 though. Fucking looks 15.
Yeah. That's a child.
I love in what was that we saw with Tom Holland where he had the mustache that looked like he could not grow a mustache.
I forget.
Was that Lost City of Zed? Was that
Lost City of Zed.
Where he has a fucking mustache. But Tom Holland, perfect cast. Like perfect cast. I don't give a shit that this dude's British. But here's what I actually really like about this movie is that they took a different angle, right? Because like you watch the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, it's like he's a genius, but then he becomes Spider-Man, and it's like, okay, I've seen that before. That's great. But this Spider-Man is like, he's sort of an idiot.
He's not that smart, but he's at the smart kid's school.
Yeah.
Which makes for some fun. I think that makes for a lot of fun.
Oh, and then we got fucking Tony Ravioli playing fucking,
which I love because it makes ridiculous sense that at the smart kid's school, the bully would just be a ridiculous asshole, but also a smart dude nerd.
Yeah. But here's where I think that this movie has a problem is that it does have a bit of trouble balancing exactly what it wants to be, because it does want to be a major action film. It does want to be a major Marvel film, but it also wants to be a comedy. And I think that there's a great way to balance those two things. And I think like just a good example of that is Deadpool. Is that Deadpool does a great job of balancing action and comedy.
Deadpool's its own thing though.
Yeah, I agree. But Spider-Man, this one here, it's not quite funny enough to be a comedy, and it's not quite cool enough to be an action film. It's just somewhere in between.
It's not supposed to be cool though. The main character is fucking Ned. Ned's the main character in this fucking movie.
I mean, I guess. But there's a few things that I did want to touch on that I think are a problem in this movie is that once you get into those action sequences, those are just generalized Marvel action sequences. Yeah. But I actually have a big problem with the action sequences. Is that Spider-Man, like he immediately, because he's so powerful, it's immediately just like, oh, he can do anything. He can do anything, and he's probably going to be fine, and he's never going to be in trouble.
But I think it works because he's bad.
Well, he's pretty good, actually. I think he's pretty good.
There's a 25-minute scene of him trying to figure out how to use the suit while he's trapped in a warehouse.
But then, he does the Kevin Bacon. He does the Kevin Bacon in a warehouse. Yeah. But then there's like the scenes where you're like, where it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to pull off whatever it is he's doing. And you're like, oh no, Spider-Man's in a bucket of syrup now. What could he possibly do to get out of this?
Iron Man just fucking
rolls up.
That is the part that I do not like. Yeah, I don't think Iron Man necessarily needs to be in this movie so fucking much.
When this movie came out, people were like, oh, he's got like 8 minutes of screen time. I sure wish Iron Man was in this more. I wish he was in it less. Way less. Like, why couldn't this just have been a Spider-Man movie? Because that kept happening, you then feel this like feeling of like, oh, no matter what bucket of syrup he's gonna get himself into, the Avengers are just gonna flock to his side to help save him. You know, and I think I think that is a big problem with this movie. I think a lot of the action sequences are fun. The Washington action sequence is great. That one's probably the best one in the movie, where they get trapped in the elevator and he's got to climb the Washington Monument.
That's great.
That's really great. And then he does the squirrel jump over the helicopter, which is.
I'm not super hyped on the one on the boat where he does the Christ pose. I think that's
that's a little weird. Yeah, it gets a little fucking silly in my opinion, but I think it works fine for the most part.
The Christ pose one.
Oh, the Jesus.
The trailer.
Yeah, you've seen it. You know the one. I also love Martin Starr.
Oh, dude, Martin Starr's the best. Put him in everything.
Fucking put him in everything. I know you're not a big fan, but I've been rewatching Freaks and Geeks, and just like that show's worth it.
It's fine. I just hate Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon has nothing to do with that. It's Paul Feig, who we also hate. But and Judd Apatow, it's weird because Judd Apatow went like a good direction, and Paul Feig went a really bad direction. Right. But like some of my favorite parts of that show is like the shit. Like there's like the I don't know if this is a fucking sidetrack, but like there's the episode
I've seen the show
where fucking Martin Starr prank calls the coach and he's like, "You should put my Gordon on this field." My son. Like it's a lot of fun. But Martin Starr, fucking put him in everything.
All of them.
I'm hoping that this sort of skyrockets him to fame. You know what I do like about this movie? You know what I do like about this movie? They skipped over the Uncle Ben. Yeah, Uncle Ben, we don't need
just hot anime.
Yeah. Give me that shit. Fuck! Marissa Tomei walks in. I'm already Stark, dude. I've got a Stark erection. Shit! Aunt May just walked in, and I'm clearly want to bang her.
Yeah, or a super long boner.
Yes, no, super short boner. I have a tiny penis, but Then there's the scene where Donald Glover gets all cracked. Okay. I'm gonna stop for a second here. The reason that scene is in the movie where Donald Glover plays like the cracked out dude who's got the ice cream or whatever. That's a funny bit. He's like, "I got ice cream in the trunk, man. It's melting." That's funny. Okay, that scene is literally just there because Sony knew they couldn't cast Donald Glover as Spider-Man.
Well, he is too old now.
Yeah, he might be too old.
It doesn't work.
Yeah,
it would have worked right after Community.
Yeah,
it doesn't work now. He's like he looks 40. He's 40. He looks 40. He did too many drugs while he was on the road as Childish Gambino, and now he looks 40 as shit. So I don't know what to tell you. You can't play him.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that I consider lukewarm. Like there's a lot of this is a lukewarm film. But then every now and again, the movie will surprise you, like with things like the Washington scene. But there's one scene in this movie that's not even an action scene that might be one of my favorite scenes of the entire year.
Yeah.
And that is the scene where fucking Michael Keaton is driving Spider-Man to the prom. And he realizes he's fucking Spider-Man.
I honestly think he deserves an Oscar for that.
Michael
Keaton is the greatest actor on the planet.
Give him more Oscars.
He might be my favorite actor. Like just because of his last 4 years of work.
Yeah, dude, he's back, dude.
He's fucking back.
He's back.
I don't even like that Big Mac movie, but he's fucking phenomenal in it.
Yeah, he's so good in it. I was talking to somebody about that movie this week and just how wild it is.
Yeah,
it's just Michael Keaton being an asshole for 2 hours.
Screaming.
He's just really mad. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. But Michael Keaton is just fucking incredible in this movie. But they also pull like a fucking really manipulative move with the screenwriting because there's the twist that he's like the girl's dad.
Yeah.
But the girl's black.
Well, the mother's black.
Yeah, the girl's black. So you're like, never suspect that. And then white dad Keaton just answers the door.
You don't like that? Hey.
I think it's a little bit manipulative. It's like, we want to make sure that there's no way that this is foreseeable. So we're just going to make her black.
Yeah. Well, obviously that's.
Yeah, they wanted to make
it is racist that they did it. Like
yeah. They just wanted to make sure that there was no way we were seeing that twist coming.
Yeah.
So they're like, just make the girl black, and Michael Keaton obviously is a stark white man. Jesus Christ, a little bit manipulative. Now here's one thing that they did in the movie that I think would be a lot of fun for us to do on the pod right now. Early in the movie, they're doing Fuck, Marry, Kill with Avengers. Avengers, Buckle Duke. We gotta figure out who we fuck, marry, and kill.
Yeah.
So obviously,
without even batting an eye, I would fuck Thor.
You don't think that would hurt, or would you be top?
I think I'd be top.
You think you'd be top?
I think I would.
I don't even know if he'd take anything. Dick. I don't think he'd take anything out of that though. He's just so girth. He's just so girthy and hurty.
I don't think he'd notice. Yeah.
I think
super long but small dick.
I think I would marry Vision because because here's my number one concern is that I don't want to outlive my partner.
There you go.
So I'd marry Vision for sure. Kill Iron Man. Let's get him the fuck out of here. He's too old anyways. But as far as fucking, that's the tough one, right?
Yeah.
Because like I thought like maybe Banner, but like what if, what if something goes wrong?
Yeah, what if he turns?
Yeah, that's the opposite of what I want. What are some of these new Avengers? Like oh no, I don't want to fuck Benedict Cumberbatch.
So
He's too tall.
I would kill Captain America because I think we need a new one. And I would marry Nick Fury.
You've married Nick Fury. I'd fuck Nick Fury. I would fuck Nick Fury. There it is. But I'd be bottom. Okay, I would want to be bottom in that instance.
You'd want to be.
Okay, so let's recap here real quick. Fuck Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Marry the Vision and kill Iron Man.
Fuck Thor. Marry Nick Fury and kill Captain America.
It's perfect. It's absolutely fucking perfect. There's also a really great scene where right before he goes to the prom and Aunt May gives him tips.
Wait, no, I forgot. Hawkeye exists. Kill Hawkeye.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? Let's do a double kill. Double kill on Hawkeye. I take it back.
Wait, he's so unmemorable. I forgot he existed.
I saw a really great video, and it was like the scene from Civil War where they were like at the hangar. And they were basically like, all right, we're going to do this dodgeball style. We're just going to pick teams. And then Hawkeye was the last one. And Captain America's like, best for last. That guy.
It seems like Jeremy Renner doesn't want to be an actor. Don't you think?
Every time I see him in a movie, he's giving a full 5%. Every time I see him in a movie, I'm like, could you go?
It seems like he'd rather be in a Walmart warehouse pushing pallets. It seems like he'd be happier there.
He does not go.
He doesn't go.
When you see a movie, you're like, oh, he goes, dude. That guy goes. Like Star Wars. You see Star Wars Episode 7, you're like, Harrison Ford still goes.
Harrison Ford goes like a motherfucker still.
He still goes. But then you see Jeremy Renner, you're like, he does not go.
He does not go. He's never went.
I mean, there's a lot of fun in this movie. I think this is a fine film. I don't think it's anything really great. There is a scene where
I think it's a wonderful execution of a Marvel movie.
I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. There is a great scene where Spider-Man hijacks an airplane and then almost pulls a 9/11 and nobody.
I'm never not smiling like a motherfucker when I watch this movie.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a smile movie. It's a smile movie, and for that, I think it's fine. I'm going to give it 3 stars on the Chadsky scale.
4 stars on the Chadsky scale.
4 stars on the Chadsky scale. Now, before
my biggest gripe with it really is that there's too much fucking Iron Man, and other than that, I think it's fucking awesome.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fucking Iron Man out of here! Hey, could we let's just do fucking Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Do that. Just do that movie. Reboot the whole thing because you already fucked it up. They fucked it up. Don't say they fucked up. And you'll just don't do it. Just make superhero movies. That's what they used to do. They just fucking would make superhero movies and they have nothing to do with each other. Just let that happen.
But we've tried that with like Doctor Strange and shit, and it doesn't work.
Oh, but here's the thing: is that Doctor Strange is still fucking stapled to the Avengers title,
but barely.
Yeah, but still there. There's still. Although that is probably like number one of like 50 of the problems with that movie. I think the biggest problem with that fucking movie is that they wasted Mads Mikkelsen, and that drives me crazy.
Blows my brain apart.
Hey, you know that hashtag waste Disney his time
twice.
Waste his time 2017. That's what they fucking did to Mads Mikkelsen 2 times.
Rogue One also they wasted him twice. Disney wasted him fucking twice in a row. He had other shit he could have done.
They came out like 3 weeks in between each other. Like he must have been jumping between the 2 sets. Like they must.
I don't think he was on set for very long for either of them.
Yeah,
maybe longer for Doctor Strange probably, but
I even that I don't know because he doesn't have lines
that much. Right?
Doesn't have lines in that.
I don't really remember.
Does he have lines in Doctor Strange? I feel like he don't have. Does he have lines?
I know shit's like leaking out of his eye drums. Like,
oh, dude, it's fucking bad.
And Kojima was like, "I'm just straight up stealing that from our video game." Did you see that?
Which one?
The new Kojima game where Mads Mikkelsen was in it, and like shit was just straight leaking out of his eyes.
Yeah. What's that called? The Phantom? No, that's Metal Gear Solid.
I don't know what it's called. I don't play video games.
Death Stranding. That's what
I have been playing Mario Odyssey at my neighbor's house though.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. You get to possess a man.
It's the best game.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
I don't even like video games, and it's so fucking good.
It's fucking incredible. I skipped down to Best Buy the morning it came out to fucking grab that bitch. Now before we move on, let's talk a little bit about.
Can you lick a Switch cartridge live on the pod?
No.
Why?
No, because they're gross.
Yeah.
Now maybe it'll be a Christmas treat for the pod listeners.
Okay.
It'll be a Christmas treat. That'll be my Christmas gift to you. I'll take a game that I don't really give a shit about and I'll lick it on the pod. But let's do a little bit of Brew Epidemic. Today, it's starting to be Christmas. You know, we're starting to get there.
Starting to feel a lot like Christmas.
Yeah, I've already put up my tree because I
see that over there.
I celebrate Christmas incredibly early because here's the thing about Christmas. I think most other holidays are fucking dumb. I think holidays are stupid. Valentine's Day is dumb. I think I don't like Halloween. I do Spoopy-tober for the fun of it. But
I like watching horror movies. I like that you can have an excuse.
Yeah, I like that. That's the only thing I like about Halloween. But like the actual like dressing up and like going out, like that's fucking.
I don't care. I wear a suit.
Yeah. Just wear a fucking skull suit.
I wear a fucking skull suit.
Wear a fucking skull suit. But like, Christmas is probably the only holiday that I actively like really enjoy. Like, thanks
because you love Christ.
Yeah, I do. I'm a big Jesus man. I am Jewish, so he is my king, as the Bible tells.
And I'm scared of Satan.
Yeah.
So obviously,
if you don't celebrate Christmas, then you're gonna get pulled in, right?
Yeah.
So we got the Christmas edition Granville Island Lions Winter Ale.
Yeah, this is something they come out with every fall to spring. It's chocolatey. It's a very good brew. If you can get it, it's pretty recommend it.
It's kind of thick, like it's thick for a chocolate brew, even like which I like a lot. It's very, I guess I would call it smooth.
Warms my heart on a cold winter day because it's fucking cold out there.
Yeah, it's warm. It's warm. It's a warm brew. I did not refrigerate these. I'm just giving warm brews to Buckley. Dude.
Yeah, it's super cold out, and Chadley was really late, so I had to sit in the Dunkin' Donuts in his building.
Oh yeah, I apologize for that.
He was like really late.
I was like 20 minutes late. Traffic was bad.
He was like super late, and then like this guy that was clearly on smack just decided that my table was now his table, and I didn't really want to argue with him, so I just let him sit there.
Look at me. I am the captain.
I don't want to infer what he looked like, but I was listening to Jimi Hendrix louder than I listen to music in public louder than you should.
Yeah, so you don't have to listen to what other people are saying.
So I don't have to hear what people are saying, and I'm pretty sure, like, I couldn't really hear him, but I think he was asking for rock.
It's like, you sell? Don't worry, that happens to me pretty
I understand I'm dressed like a Boston fucking shipsman right now, but, like, I don't have any drugs.
Yeah, you're throwing the fucking tea overboard and shit. Yeah, but did you have any other adventures while you're down there in Dunkin' Donuts?
Nah, nothing noteworthy.
Nothing noteworthy.
Let's move on to the next thing here.
Top 5 Spider-Man films. I bet you can guess just from hearing that what the top 5 are going to be. Hint, Amazing Spider-Man 2 does not make my list.
Yeah.
There's 6 films. So let's just, we'll pump through this pretty quickly. My number 5 is The Amazing Spider-Man because it has to be. That's really the only reason it's on here.
I'm going in a different direction.
All right.
What was that Avengers movie he was in?
Oh, Civil War?
Yeah, I'll take Civil War as my number 5.
Oh, I'd say Amazing Spider-Man is better than Civil War, but maybe not. Yeah, maybe not.
That's a fucking insane opinion. Peter Parker's parents were fucking spies.
Oh, yeah. What was here's the thing is that they never closed that arc.
No, they didn't close that arc because it's shitty. And they knew it was shitty.
But here's the thing is that they clearly didn't because they started it in the first movie and they really expanded on it in the second movie and then never closed the arc.
Well, there's going to be another film, Chadley.
There's not going to be another Amazing Spider-Man film.
There was going to, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they had planned to, and then Disney came in with their wallet. Speaking of which, Disney is currently trying to haggle with Fox to buy the X-Men's. Please don't.
I don't think that's going to go through.
Please don't. I really hope it doesn't because, like, Fox is doing such interesting things with X-Men, and some of it lands and some of it doesn't, and I think that's fine.
I'm excited for them though.
But the shit
I'm more
that
excited
lands
for the X-Men stuff than any of these fucking new Marvel movies.
Yeah, like with fucking
Black
with the
Panther's
X-Men,
gonna be fun, I think. But
Black Panther.
I don't give a shit about this Avengers Infinity thing.
Hey, here's a weird thing about Avengers Infinity War. They say that movie's coming out in like what 4 months, and they're not giving us a lick of trailer. That movie's not coming out in 4 months.
4 months? What is it supposed to drop?
Oh no, it's May. So it's like 6 months, but it's still like close enough that it's an Avengers movie. We probably should have seen a trailer.
Like 4 months.
Black Panther's pretty close, yeah. But I think it's close enough that I'm gonna take a wild stab and say we're not getting it in May. Because there is a trailer. That's the shitty thing about this whole thing, is that there is a trailer. They just don't want to show it to people. So and that's super sucky. But like, I'm gonna take a wild stab and say because they haven't released a trailer, they're not confident about the quality. It's not done. It's not even close to being done.
I'd imagine not.
It's like with Star Wars, they finished that fucking bitch back in April. Like, I don't know what they're waiting on.
That one, I think that will be fine. Everybody's happy with Rian Johnson. They're giving him a new trilogy.
They're giving him a trill, yeah.
They're giving him a trill.
Disney must really like that new one. It's also the longest Star Wars movie. Do you know that?
I bet it's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be 150 minutes, the longest Star Wars movie ever.
Okay,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Movies are allowed to be 2.5 hours,
yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah, it should be fine. Should be fine. A lot of fun.
Fucking Blade Runner was like 3 hours and it was awesome.
What's your number 5? Oh wait, no, you said Civil War already.
Civil War.
Right, bitch.
I just hate Amazing Spider-Man so much. I can't.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I actually feel bad about putting on the list. I kind of wish I would have done the Civil War route now, but it's too late. It's too late. I already gave it.
What's your number 4?
My number 4. It's just called Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's also mine. Yeah, it's official.
Yeah, it's just gonna be called Spider-Man. It's just Tobey Maguire and fucking Bruce Campbell calls him the human spider, and then he fights Randy Savage in a ring. There's a lot of silly content in here.
Bonesaw is ready.
Saw. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I think Spider-Man is great. My number 3. That's gonna be the one we talked about today, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Ooh, see, this is where we differ.
Yeah, I figured this might be where we differ. I imagine your number 3 is Spidey 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Dr. Octopus. A lot of fun. This is actually my number 2. Is Spider-Man 2.
Sure, my number 2 is Spider-Man: Homecoming, and our number 1.
Oh, it's official. It's official. It's got to be Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3's.
Fuck off anybody who doesn't. I don't understand. I do not understand.
It's one of the easiest 5-star films I've ever given out.
Well, and it went from an easy 1-star to like an easy 1-star. It might have been a movie that was just like way ahead of its time, because when it came out, it was bad.
Dude. It's subversive.
Yeah, it was bad when it came out.
Now it's a clear parody of superhero, the genre.
Yeah.
And Sam Raimi knew that somehow. He's a time traveler.
Yeah.
Now it makes perfect sense.
It's like Marvel had already shown him the blueprints for all the Avengers movie, and he's like, well, this is fucking stupid.
It's really stupid. So I'm gonna put all these characters in here. I'm gonna make them emo. It's gonna be there's gonna be song and dance numbers.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a ridiculous movie. Oh, and by the way, 5-star film.
We're gonna pull Venom out of that 70s show.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna like that, but it's gonna be in there.
We're gonna make it as wild as possible.
But here's the thing: I remember when that movie hadn't come out yet, and they were like just announcing the cast and shit. I was like going buck wild, because they're like, "All right, we got Sandman," and I'm like, "Oh, Sandman sucks," and they're like, "Yeah, but what about Thomas Hayden Church?" And I'm like, "Oh, my boy! Oh,
I'm on board.
Oh, that's a good cast. Oh, it's a perfectly cast movie." Anybody who doesn't think, because here's the thing: is that everyone's like, Topher Grace was bad as that character. No, he wasn't. They needed somebody who was in an exact parallel of the Spider-Man they currently had. They could be brothers.
They look similar.
They look the same. They needed a parallel, so they got Topher Grace because he looks like Toby a lot. And then who is the other villain? Oh yeah, fucking James Franco already up there. Fucking Franco as
Baby Goblin.
As a Hobgoblin. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Baby Goblin.
Baby Gobby. Yeah. Spider-Man 3, I think we've done it. I think we've done due time on it, you know?
Yeah, it's had its time.
Yeah, everybody, if you listen to this podcast and you don't like Spider-Man 3,
I don't even think it's an insane opinion. I used to thought that was an insane opinion, that I liked Spider-Man 3, but now
it's not.
I don't think it's insane at all. I think it's a perfect fucking movie.
Yo, If you don't like Spider-Man 3, you can do that quick. Unsubscribe real quick.
Go ahead and unsubscribe. Like I give a shit.
Yeah, unsubscribe. Do you think we give a fuck? We don't need you.
Well,
yeah. Well, we kind of do. Please subscribe, comment,
please
rate us 5 stars. It's the only way to get famous on iTunes.
Yes,
we need money.
Give me money now.
Money.
What do we got up next, Chadley?
Got a little bit of Jack Ryan.
Well, whatever.
Jack Ryan. Let's talk about The Hunt for Red October. So you don't like this movie, hey? How come?
It's really boring.
It's kind of boring.
It's super boring. And
I don't think it's super boring.
There's no characters in this movie.
That's where we're going to disagree right there. There's so many characters.
There's zero characters in this. They're all plot devices to move the submarine forward. And it's none of them mean anything. There's a lot of people in this movie.
I agree.
None of the
on that on
characters
most of the characters
mean anything to this film.
Are you including Marco Ramius in that?
Yeah, sure.
Marco Ramius is my favorite character in movies. Like, he's so great.
Yeah, let's get Sean Connery in there and I just have him do his normal acts.
That is a lot of fun.
Say probably not. And then you go with let's make his first mate Tim Curry and he's just doing English and it's like perhaps not.
And then get Sam Neill, he's just doing New Zealand.
And we got Sam Neill and I stare at the screen when I see this cast. I'm like, I love all of these people separately, but in this film, perhaps not. Chadley.
You know what's confusing about this movie though? That there are 4 lads who look like a young Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh, but he's there too.
Couldn't tell which one was him though.
Here's the thing, doesn't matter because none of them are characters.
He's in there. I'll give you that. I understand where you're coming from, but I do think that there is something so inherently charming about the relationship. Not just Marco Ramius like with his crew, but I think Marco Ramius and Jack Ryan, despite the fact that it's not really touched upon a lot in this movie, I do just really
barely even interact.
Yeah, they do barely interact because they are hunting for the Red October, which is the boat that Sean Connery's on. There is one thing I'll agree with you on. Don't cast Alec.
Oh, Alec Baldwin's fucking terrible. I'd rather be in Guantanamo Bay and see that fucker act.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing I didn't know about Alec Baldwin though. Back in 1990, apparently he was hot.
Yeah, he's hot. He had a strong haircut.
Dude, he was a hot lad, dude. He had piercing eyes and that nice haircut. Like, ooh, he's a hot lad, dude. Not a single female in this film, though, I don't think. Is there one?
No.
Is there one female?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now, and I actually don't think there was a single woman.
I think he had a
movie.
wife, but I don't think she was on screen.
No, yeah, I think they mentioned it, but yeah, no females in this movie. There's a really great scene where Marco Ramius is talking to everybody about like bombing America, which obviously is not actually what he intended to do. Mm-hmm. And then all the Russian dudes in the background just start singing in Russian.
Yeah,
and then
I like that scene.
And then they're like, hey, we gotta quiet down. They're gonna catch us on the sonar. And Sean Connery's like, let them sing.
Let them fight.
It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I think this movie does get dry.
Doesn't hold up.
Doesn't hold up. No, I would agree.
The submarine stuff looks good, but everything else.
Yeah, like for 1990. Yeah, for 1990, a lot of the torpedo stuff is really great. I think. And you know what? I kind of like the Jack Ryan character. I don't think Alec Baldwin is a very good actor, and I don't think he portrayed him properly. But I do like the idea of like an analysis turned like rogue agent.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And he's got to fucking board the Red October.
By concept wise, I think Jack Ryan's probably one of Tom Clancy's better creations.
Oh, Tom Clancy makes a lot of bad shit though.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't really read Tom Clancy. I'm a Stephen King man myself. But yeah. From the books I have read of Tom Clancy, I think
he rambles. He's just a rambling crazy person.
They're so long, and I do feel like Jack Ryan is pretty good because it's not just like most of his stories are just like they're ex-military men and they're doing like CIA stuff now. This is an analyst.
Yeah, he's an analyst who's just now all of a sudden like. He's an analyst who's afraid of flying, and they're like, "Yeah, throw him in a helicopter. That's a fun scene." And then there's like, that's actually the best scene of the movie, where he's in the helicopter, and the co-pilot is like, "Last time I was in here, we hit turbulence. I vomited all over the radio." Like that. That's probably one of my favorite
few times I paid attention.
Yeah, that's one of the most fun that you'll have in the entire movie. I do wish that the entire movie was like the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, last 15 minutes is great.
It's great. Yeah, with like they're fucking trying to smuggle him off the Red October, and like it's fucking Jack Ryan and Marco Rami. It's just fucking running together like a superhero team.
Here's the thing, though. Oh, so long.
It is really long. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. I don't think it needed to be that. There's a lot of like, I feel like every now and again they'll just have like a scene where somebody says some submarine shit, and like none of it makes sense because like I don't know submarines, so they'll be like, oh yeah, the Q drive and the caterpillar pulse and it's now interjecting with the sonar quark, and it's like, what the fuck? And then they'll have like an entire conversation like that, and that's the scene. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna fucking power down like a robot here, and I'm just gonna have a fucking quick nap while you guys talk about this shit.
Let me just power down real quick. Yeah, I think it's a total dad flick. I think if my dad's watching it, I'm not gonna just wander off. I'll take a peep.
Again,
I've never been thrilled to ever see this film.
Again, it doesn't hold up as because last time I saw this, I remember really loving it.
Mm-hmm. It's straightforward. It's very easy to understand.
Yeah, it's just fucking Russians in a boat and Marco Rami trying to defect. It's like it reminds me a lot of it reminds me a little bit of Bridge of Spies.
Bridge of Spies.
But I do think Bridge of Spies is a much better executed film.
I still don't want to watch either of them.
It's like Bridge of Spies if the what's the name of the guy who won the Oscar for that movie?
Rylance.
What?
Rylance.
Yeah, Rylance. It's like Bridge of Spies if Mark Rylance's character was like a incompetent asshole the entire movie. But Sean Connery is just so much fun to watch. Like I love him so much, and I think that's what really carries this movie is that Sean Connery is so good.
Yeah, Sean Connery is good, but not why? Why Sean Connery? Why was he cast for this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
Actually, I was talking about this because I watched this with my girlfriend this morning, and she was asking like that same question, and I was like, "Here's why: Google Russian famous actors. Guess what you're gonna get? You're gonna get Steven Seagal, and like that's it. And like fucking Anna Kournikova, who's a fucking tennis player. That's it. There's not many Russian famous actors.
Well, yeah, okay.
So like, who would you put in? Like, because like
I don't know, someone that doesn't have a Scottish accent. It doesn't really matter.
It's true. They got him into the war room. They're like, all right, Sean, we got you cast in this movie. We've already signed the contract, but there was one thing we forgot to ask you real quick. Do you want? Could you do a Russian accent? And he's like, oh, absolutely not.
I can't even believe you would ask me that.
That's fucking preposterous. But
fucking preposterous.
But I was looking online and just looking at people talking about this movie on forums and stuff, and someone was like, I'm genuinely impressed by Sean Connery's amazing Russian accent. And I'm like, what? Huh? He doesn't do one.
Did we see
I also like
the same movie?
There's a part where they almost backpedal out of him not having a Russian accent, where they're like, actually, he's not Russian. He's Lithuanian, and it's like, you fucked it up.
Say Scottish.
Yeah, just say
Scottish. It doesn't matter. Like none of this, like this movie already doesn't fucking make a lick of sense.
Tom Clancy is already just like a crazy dude in a wheelchair with PTSD. Like he's not gonna roll up to this movie and be like, so I was watching the movie and I noticed a weird thing. No, just say Scottish.
Like, fucks. Have you ever seen a single Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? They do this shit in every one.
Yeah,
or any Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Yes.
They just say he grew up in France, so we don't know.
Yeah, he's from New Orleans. he's an American military man, but he's from New Orleans. Yeah. So he could be French as fuck.
He speaks French. I don't know.
Yeah. Weird. Who gives a shit? Yeah, I agree. Just fucking make something up. I agree. I do like Tom Clancy novels though. Like you've read a couple, hey?
I've read a couple, not very many.
I've read a few, and they're
I forget what I read a really thick one. It was like war.
Oh,
it has like two guns on the front.
Yeah, I know the one you're thinking of. It's
I don't know.
End War.
Maybe.
End War.
Maybe.
Either way.
I'm sure a lot of them have war in the title.
Yeah, they have war in the title. Yeah, but
I've read a few. I just it's fine.
I think I feel like it was like one of the Splinter Cell books or one of the Ghost Recon books, because like Tom Clancy, what he does is he spends 3 pages on like actually telling a narrative.
Yeah.
And then like he'll veer off for like 3 pages after that, and he'll be like, when I was in Vietnam. And you're like, all right, Tom Clancy, this is a futuristic spy novel. I don't need to know about when you're in Vietnam right now.
It's like, I think Tom Clancy is better than like a James Patterson or some of those fucking supermarket.
I think he's
trash.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I do think Tom Clancy might be one of those dudes who was lying about being in Vietnam, but
Steve Rannazzisi in 9/11 type deal.
Exactly. But no, as far as Tom Clancy movies go, and like I don't think there's very many good. Like I don't even think there is very many, because like with Tom Clancy, they tried the movie thing. And then they're like, you know what, let's just veer off into a different medium.
I'd have to take a look. I don't know if there's any that are like super good.
They did. There's one on Amazon right now that's like new, but I think it's based on like the Ghost Recon. But it's like based on the video game Ghost Recon.
I think that's like a promotional material because it's like 43 minutes. I was going to watch it, but it's not a feature length.
It's like the Final Fantasy Kingsglaive movie, and it's like actually just a fucking commercial for Final Fantasy 15. And we've all seen shit like that. It happens. I feel like the Rooster Teeth people. No, Rooster Teeth. No, yeah, Rooster Teeth. I feel like those people. They keep getting those Halo deals, but only like right before one of the games comes out. So it's basically just a commercial.
It's all commercials. Everything's a commercial.
It's all fucking commercial. So I give Hunt for Red October 3 out of 5. I think it's fine on the chat TCL. It's a lot of fun.
I don't disagree with that. I think a 3 is fine.
Yeah, three is a good.
I think I might be a little hard on it. I think it's definitely like a film that you can watch if it's on cable, but I would never seek it out.
It's indicative of the time. Like it's definitely a movie that came out.
I don't think it holds up very well.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie that came out in 1990. Like
I think the last like 25 minutes is like really
great,
good,
fucking awesome. Like it's so good.
If it didn't have that last 25 minutes, easy to.
As soon as like Jack Ryan finds her in October, that's when the movie gets fucking banging. But everything before that is dry. I agree. Which is it's dry, no pun intended, because you know.
Yeah, it's underwater. I get it. Not funny. Let's go. Next thing.
Good time. A24. Woo! Watch this movie only if you want to hurt yourself after.
Tough, dude. I'm really glad I didn't see this in a theater. I would have fucking killed myself.
I'm really glad I didn't watch this when I had clinical depression.
Yeah.
Because fuck me. The title is a lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. It is not a good time. It will fucking tear your body apart. It's absolutely fucking miserable. And you know what? I love it.
Yeah, I
love it. It's really great.
It felt like my head was being smashed against a wall for 2 hours.
It felt like my senses, like my actual like depth perception was being challenged by the director.
Because the soundtrack is so wild. It's just like screaming at you, and then all the characters are basically constantly yelling, which is tough to watch.
So first thing that you're gonna notice, literally the first thing that you're gonna think when you see this movie is like, oh, Benny Sedfi. Oh, he's the fucking greatest actor ever.
Yeah, he's an ugly man.
He's a fucking ugly place.
Have you seen his brother? Even uglier.
Yeah, Josh. Yeah, he's an ugly dude.
Even uglier.
But here's the thing: is that like not only is Benny Sedfi like an amazing actor, but just such an incredible director as well. Just really mastered the art of making weird film, I guess you could call it, because it's very like it's a lot of the lighting is neon in this movie, and it really just like I can't look at colors.
Previous film played at a festival.
Is that something Heaven Knows or something?
Heaven Knows, something like that. Yeah.
I've
heard that's like fucking awesome too, but this was a very interesting film in my opinion.
It's like one of those movies that takes you on like a journey.
Yeah,
right.
It's more about the experience and the context. Yeah. It's not about anything, but
it sure gets weird though. I do love it. Here's the thing I love about this movie. I do think there's some irony, and I think the Sedfi brothers are smart enough to know there's irony of watching Law and Order from prison.
A lot of fun choices, I think.
There's also like almost a full episode of Cops in this movie where they just like film them watching a full episode of Cops.
Yeah.
Which is a reminder that Cops is one of the most wild television programs to ever exist.
Oh, it's perfect. Have you seen this new thing? I think it's called Live PD.
No.
It plays on like Fridays and Saturdays, and it's like
straight
Cops,
up live.
But it's live.
Straight up live.
Follow cops around, dude. And it's like it'll be like anything from just pulling people over for tickets or just like drug busts and shit. They just follow cops, dude. And it's live.
Is there like, there must be some sort of law against this, but I mean, I guess it's America. It's a fucking Wild West out there where they're like, yeah, we're just gonna, because here's the thing is that
it's a TV show that they've agreed to though.
Like the criminals?
The cops.
Yeah, but like, I'm talking about like protecting the actual criminals.
Oh, I don't know, dude. But they know that it's on every Friday and Saturday in specific areas, right? So
but
I wonder if that like increases crime.
Do you think that like when they're arresting them, they're reading their Miranda rights, they read the whole, like, you have the right to remain silent, anything you can't say can and will be used against you in court. We do have this release that we need you to sign real quick here. Like,
we should turn it on after this.
Yeah.
I bet it's on right now.
Yeah, I bet you it probably is. I'll watch Cops. I don't give a shit. The cinematography in this movie, it's been a while since I've seen something like this.
Yeah. You gotta go to the A24 to see shit like this. I feel like
there's a lot of really cool, like really well shot scenes, like the scenes where they're in the amusement park. Yeah,
blew my fucking brain apart.
That's when I think I started to melt. Like that's when my body started to be like.
That's when I just
started melting to the chair. Yeah.
I liked this movie for a long time, but I don't think I got it up until that point, and then it clicked for me.
Yeah. Well, the thing about this movie is that like. One thing that you pick up on really quick is that Robert Pattinson's character is just like this master liar.
Yeah.
Like he's just it's so second nature to him to lie to people. Like he comes up with lies so quickly.
Yeah, he's good, but he's not smart. So he gets into these situations that
are wild. And he always talks himself out of it because he's fucking brilliant in some ways. Speaking of which, Robert Pattinson, how did this happen? We talked about this with Kristen Stewart,
man. He's
last
just
year.
Good now though.
He's fucking awesome. Yeah,
where it's like I feel like people are harping on his past movies
foibles
a little too much. Same with Kristen Stewart. Like you watch any of their movies from the last like 10 years. They're good.
Yeah, they're good
so,
now.
Like, why do we have to keep coming back to Twilight?
Can we stop talking about Twilight? Because Robert Pattinson.
When I watch a Robert Pattinson movie now, I just assume he's going to be good because he's a good actor.
Robert Pattinson, like he did like 3 years training with Cronenberg. Like he's obviously great now.
But he's just been hanging out with Berg. Dude's like he just started making indie films, and they're all awesome because he's got so much fucking money. That he's like, I just want to be a good actor now.
Yeah, I want to do something that means something. And this movie, oh man, it'll just take you through like a palette of like negative. Like, there's not a single moment in this movie where you're gonna smile at something.
No, it's scummy. Dude.
Fuck, it's really scummy and it's gross. And it's an experience that I think everybody needs to take.
It's unpleasant for sure.
Unpleasant.
I didn't like watching it.
No, me neither, but I will never stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
I liked it though, like it is unpleasant, but I enjoyed it. There's also another really great scene. We were talking about cinematography a moment earlier, where that I do want to mention as well, where you have the two guys that are both running away from the cops, and there's the one guy in the street, and the camera is on the other guy, and the other guy goes out to the balcony, and you sort of see his view from above as the other guy runs away. It's
great fucking scene. I don't know how much I like that character though. The guy that he pulls from the hospital.
Oh, does acid with?
Yeah, because he
down the hatch.
There's a very specific scene that I don't like in this movie, and it's the only time where I feel like they fucked up in the screenplay.
Okay,
it's when he first like becomes conscious after he gets him out of the hospital. He's like, I don't remember anything, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I'm here. Where am I? And then literally 3 minutes later, he explains everything in vivid detail.
Vivid detail leading up to that exact moment. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
And it bothers me quite a bit because they could have avoided that by just not having him be so confused when he woke up.
You know what I do like though is that they got fucking Howard Stern's dad.
Who was that guy?
I don't know.
He was good.
He's really good and maybe the best character in the entire movie, but fuck, he looks like Howard Stern's dad.
Yeah, he
looks like he could be related to Howard Stern.
Yeah,
he's got like that weird fucking chin, that Howard Stern's got. But that fucking therapist character is easily
Jewish hair.
Easily, super Jew, big Jew. Easily the best character of the entire movie. Easily the best. I would even say easily the best performance, even after like Maybe Benny.
I think Ben, because as much as I loved Robert Pattinson in this movie, the one thing I'll think about,
how do you say his name?
Doesn't matter. I don't know what his name is, so it's very confusing.
It's Robert something.
Is the last scene of this movie where
it's tough.
Where Ben's in the
class,
in the class thing, and as much as I loved the other characters in this film, that's the only thing I'm ever gonna fucking think about when I think about this movie.
It's the most emotionally drenched moment of the entire movie, and it's only because of the way Benny Sedfeed expresses his facial, like his face.
Yeah,
like, and it's insane. Just watching it happen. Like, it seems like a pretty normal thing, but just watching it happen will make you feel like an intense amount of emotion. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This movie's fucking incredible. Like, I really like this movie a lot. I'll never watch it again.
No,
as long as I fucking live, I'm never watching this again.
I have no interest in that.
Cannot do it.
I would. My body would break in half.
I think I would die. I think I would die, and you know what? I think that might be a good way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll never watch this movie again. But I do think it's great, and I do think everybody should see it one time. So I'm gonna give this a 4.5 out of 5 on the Chatsky scale.
I'll give it a 4 and a heart.
4 and a heart. What does the heart mean?
It's like a half.
Oh, okay.
I don't do halves. So.
Okay, but you do hearts. All right, I like that.
I do hearts.
Since we've been gone, there's also been a lot of trailers. Shitload of trailers for Trailer Trash. I only really want to talk about the big ones. Hotel Transylvania 3. That looks like not a movie, so
I didn't see that.
It looks like
I will see the film. I actually think those are. I think that's a fun series.
Okay, but go watch it's called A Monster Vacation, and essentially it's like there's a bunch of non-jokes in the trailer. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I feel like you would know more than anybody what a non-joke is in a fucking Adam Sandler film. But yeah, you got to go and check that one out. But let's get to the shit that is important. Like, for instance, I really want to talk about something because I want to get your notes on it. They released like a fucking trailer, and I'm putting in quotes, like a teaser trailer. I'm putting that in quotes because it's not a fucking teaser trailer. It's just a fucking 40-second video of the cast of Fantastic Beasts Part 2 just standing there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they called that the fucking teaser trailer. First of all, not a trailer. But I do want to talk about that for a moment because there is a couple of important things that I think need to be discussed. Number one, this is the first glimpse that we got of Jude Law as Dumbledore. I remember when that was announced, I was like, you don't even need to recast him because he's supposed to be 70 at this point. But then you look at Jude Law and it's like, kind of looks like young Michael Gambon here, so I don't know. Like, maybe that is a good cast. I do think that like Jude Law doesn't look like he's 70. Yeah, because like
good skin. He's got good skin.
Yeah, because like the Harry Potter movies take place in the 90s, and he's supposed to be 150. And then Chamber of Secrets, there's the scenes that take place 50 years previous where he's supposed to be 100, which would be in the 40s. So, and if this is in like the 1915 to 1920 era, he would be 70, and Jude Law looks 35, 40, maybe.
Well, let's not get.
Yeah, I might be getting ahead of myself.
Let's get not hung up on the details.
Yeah.
Don't put Johnny Depp in this movie.
Yeah, don't put Johnny Depp. He looks just disgusting. Hopefully it's like last time where he's barely in it.
What's the title? It's like
that's what I would sure like to talk about next, because the title of the film is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Okay.
That's the worst film title I've ever heard. The Crimes of Grindelwald? Is that the best we could fucking come up with? You might as well call it Johnny Depp the Bad Man. Like, that's fucking terrible.
I saw a thing on Reddit where someone was like, this movie is basically called Cute and Cuddly Creatures and The Crimes of Wizard Hitler.
That's absolutely correct.
Don't call it that.
Yeah, don't call it The Crimes of Grindelwald. That sounds terrible. Like, it sounds terrible, and I can't be the only person who looks at that title and thinks that's insane that you called the movie that.
Don't call it that.
Yeah, don't fucking call it that.
Excuse me, sir.
But you want
to not call it that.
Yeah. Do you want to hear about a movie trailer for a movie that looks perfect?
Sure.
Oh, let's talk about Rampage.
Oh, dude, I'll watch The Rock in any movie. Dude. We've established that as canon on the podcast. We'll watch any movie.
Fucking see anything with The Rock, but Rampage looks special, dude. Because not only is it The Rock,
is it Congo too?
What?
Could it possibly be Congo too? Do you think that's possible?
Is it Jumanji Part 3? Not only is it The Rock, but it's a monkey movie, which we've also established canon on the pod that we love.
Yeah, it's established.
And it's the director of San Andreas, and it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Did we love San Andreas?
Oh, I think we might have loved San Andreas.
Okay. Sometimes I forget my bits on this show.
No, I think San Andreas was good. San Andreas is not bad.
San Andreas is fun. The Rock steals shit.
Yeah, it's just The Rock doing Grand Theft Auto for a while. He just steals one of every car, one of every kind of car.
I remember you mentioning in the chat that this movie should be great because it's directed by San Andreas, and I couldn't remember. Do we love San Andreas?
Yeah, no, we love San Andreas because here's the thing. We love The Rock. We do. We fucking adore The Rock. And no, this movie looks, because they're taking it's based on a video game, which don't do that for sure. But they're like, we're going to base it on a 1980s arcade game. And here's why I think that's smart. Because there's so much freedom with that. You make a movie out of Metal Gear Solid, people are going to be pissed that you didn't include one fucking minute detail. You make a movie out of fucking Rampage, you can do whatever the hell you want. It can be, what did you get here?
100 unique beers.
Buckley Duke hit 100 unique beers over, what is that, like 5 months? That's pretty good, actually.
I've had the app for a while.
Yeah. But either way, 100 unique beers on Untapped app. Make sure you check that out, Untapped.
You can follow me at Big Daddy Long Brew.
And you can follow me at, I'm sure you can find me. You can just look at the people who follow Big Daddy Long Brew.
It's Charlie J. Fox.
Is it just Charlie J. Fox? Is it just that easy?
Yeah.
But yeah, Rampage is going to be, because like the movie, there's so much freedom. So they're like, just make it about The Rock loving a monkey.
Yeah, he loves the monkey.
He loves the monkey. And then...
Do you love it? I feel like I was talking to you about this one time, but there's my favorite scene in any Werner Herzog movie is in this one that he'd made about technology.
Yep.
And he's talking to a guy at MIT about a robot, and he's like, "Do you love it?" And the guy's like, "Excuse me, what?" He's like, "Do you love the robot? Do you love him?"
I saw an interesting thing today that they taught a robot how to do parkour.
Yeah, dude, I saw that.
Yeah,
shit.
it's
fucking terrifying.
I'm really scared, dude. This is gonna kick the shit out of me.
During the break, I did go down to Los Angeles to get my official MUFON membership.
Nice.
The Mutual UFO Network. Because I'm now an official investigator for MUFON.
So what does that entail exactly? Can you discuss it, or is
look
it,
at the skies, baby?
You just look at the skies?
Always be watching.
You should
the truth is out there.
You should talk to my girlfriend because she truly believes, okay, this is a story she told me, and she truly 100% believes, she doesn't believe crazy shit, but she believes this happened. Mm-hmm. That she fucking got up one day in like the middle of the night, and she looked out her window and she saw a fucking UFO, and it was like above the hill outside her parents' house, and she watched it in absolute shock and terror and could not move.
That's pretty similar to a lot of UFO experiences I've had. So
yeah, and she'll swear by this. Like you should ask her tonight because this is a real fucking thing. Mm-hmm. She'll swear by this. She'll fucking say that this 100% happened to her. She just looked at this thing and she froze and couldn't move. For 45 minutes.
One of the first times I saw a UFO, I was with my buddy Drew. You've met him. You've thrown up on him before.
Yeah, I did throw up on him. Yeah,
and he
was cool about it though.
Nah, he was fine with it. We were sitting at our place, and we used to have, I don't know if you remember this, we used to have a penthouse suite,
yep.
And it was really high up. It was above the mountain, like you could see above the mountains.
Yep.
And one night we were just sitting there. It was really late at night. We look out the window because we had a giant window, and there was just like some sort of light that just like rolled up, like close enough that you could see it, and it was like doing shit that helicopters don't do, you know? Like it was moving around, and it was then it was staying in one place, and then all of a sudden, gone. Gonzo, and that's a real.
Would Drew swear by this?
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely. He's a cop, and he would swear by it.
He would put his hand on the Bible. So I hear stuff like this all the time, and like obviously I believe in aliens. I think it's insane not to at this point. To assume that we are the only planet that we're gifted with God's grace is insane.
Insane. I don't believe in God, but I do believe in Satan. Satan.
But like to think that we're the only because like
look at this fucking thing. That's an alien.
Yeah, my cat. She's a fucking alien, dude. She's a weird thing. To not believe in aliens is crazy, but I also don't believe
I think they're here.
I think
they're with us.
Because like I remember reading this article.
This is a new podcast we're doing.
Yeah, where we're just talking about. We'll do the Riverdale podcast. It'll be 10 minutes of Riverdale and 50 minutes of conspiracy theories.
I really want to do the Riverdale podcast. I think that'd be fucking ridiculous.
Fucking do it. We can do it tonight, dude. We'll fucking do it tonight. What was I gonna say? I was reading this thing and it's like aliens are here, and like there's a guy who had contact with them, and essentially the way that it worked is that every human being just has to think the thoughts, yes, I want aliens to land, or no, I don't want aliens to land. And it's like by just thinking that, you're placing a vote, and enough people voted no.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
But I
do have some good theories about how ghosts are aliens.
Ghosts are aliens.
Ghosts are aliens. Yeah.
It's
an interdimensional rift and not a paranormal thing.
Yeah, you know what? That actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I love one of my better ones.
I love reading conspiracy theories about the pyramids. That's one of my favorite things because it is true. Like human beings scientifically were at a point where there's no way we could engineer something that insane.
Right.
So maybe. But also
a lot of slave labor, though.
Yeah, a lot of slave labor, a lot of Jews.
A lot of slaves died.
Yeah, a lot of slavery.
Well, that's the podcast.
We're gonna be talking about we're probably gonna be talking about aliens for another 40 minutes.
Oh, as we go off the air, this conversation will not stop.
Yeah,
I'll have you know that.
Absolutely. Aliens are real. Do be afraid of them, please. Because
mostly be fear Satan more.
Yeah. If anything, no, maybe don't be afraid of them. Maybe don't fear them, but maybe just pledge allegiance is probably your best bet. It's probably our best recourse. Maybe they're weak. That's why.
Follow me on Twitter at LastCoolDude. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. You can follow me on Twitter at Chadley the Movie.
What are we talking about next week, Chadley?
Next week we're going to be talking about Logan Lucky, baby. Logan Lucky.
We talked about Logan. We're going to talk about Lucky. But first, Logan Lucky.
Yo, that's wild. In the same, we should have saved those all for like one pod, just like Logan.
Probably, Lucky. But we didn't know that during Logan.
Yeah, it's true. Logan was too big of a hitter to not hit right away. But we're gonna be talking about Logan Lucky. Daniel Craig, he might be back.
I don't know.
Daniel Craig might actually be having fun making a film.
Yeah, he took one film off. And he's like, I'll do James Bond again. This made me no money.
We're also going to be talking about Patriot Games. That's the next? Yeah, Patriot Games.
That's right.
And what's the other film we're going to be watching, Buck? I guess the other one's up to you.
Brigsby Bear.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say Brigsby Bear. Let's just do Brigsby Bear. Brigsby Bear. I'm really excited to see this one because
it's our boy,
Kyle Mooney, our boy. Is Beck Bennett in there? I feel like he's in there.
I don't know. I think he
probably has a writing credit or something. He probably has like a writing credit or something. He's in there.
Those two boys, they go together. They're lovers.
Yeah, they're like Taika and Jermaine. But those dudes are doing
they've splintered off. They've
splintered off and they're both doing the Lord's work now. Jermaine just works for Disney, which is a mistake.
Well, he did that.
Oh, but so does Taika.
Yeah, that's true. He did that Legion show on FX
about X-Men.
Yeah, and it was like a fucking weird show. It was really good.
Is that Jermaine Clement who's in that?
Yeah, he's one of the psychiatrists in it.
Oh, that's bizarre. Anyway, make sure you check out the Night of the Podcast. Subscribe on the YouTube.